Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Pemko number 121D. This is a dark bronze anodized aluminum interlocking threshold is what this is. So the 121 is representative of this profile. The D stands for dark bronze finish. This is going to be available in the A finish, 121A, for mill aluminum, the 121D, of course, dark bronze, and then the 121G as well for gold anodized. This is a threshold. This is what's called an interlocking threshold. An interlocking threshold provides a mechanical connection between the door and the threshold, providing a superior sort of seal to occur between the door and the frame, pardon me, the door and the threshold is what I mean to say. Interlocking threshold, how is that accomplished? Well, you can see from this sort of design here, you've got a couple of lips that are on either end. Okay, let's just say that this smaller side is the inside of the door, and of course the door would swing inside generally, and the longer side is going to be the exterior. Nothing requiring that to be the case. But let's just, for the purposes of this video, say that the small side is the inside. Now, how is this accomplished? It's accomplished by the inclusion of this secondary piece of material. If you use your imagination, you can see why we call it a J-hook. Okay, the J-hook, or the hook strip, which is made of galvanized steel, white coat galvanized steel, is nailed to the bottom of the door. When the door is closed, that bird's mouth on the hook strip mates to the lip of the threshold. So this would swing in with the door, and then when it closes, it comes and makes contact just like that, providing an excellent, very positive sort of seal that you're going to have between, again, the bottom of the door and the threshold. A lot of people love interlocking thresholds. I'm a fan. Why? Well, they're elegant. They work. They're very incredibly long lasting. And generally you're going to find the only time that there's a compromise between the hook strip and the bottom or the threshold is when maybe there's been some unintentional damage done. You might have removed the door to have it painted, let's say, and you put the door down and it crushes the hook strip, or someone will leave a shoe in front of the door and someone will unknowingly push the door over the shoe and tear up the hook strip. That's really the only time that you would have a problem with an interlock threshold. And the good thing is you can buy these. These are by themselves. They're very inexpensive. No problem. The J-hook is one style of hook strip that will accompany an interlocking threshold. They also make an L shape. The L shape mounts to the inside face of the door and then tucks underneath. Obviously you can see that. Some people like it. You can get those in bronze, or it can be done in an oil rubbed or a polished sort of finish. But generally the J-hook is installed underneath the door. This being an aluminum base material, that hook strip will be a steel base with a white coat galvanized finish. Completely concealed, you would never see it once installed. Brass or bronze, more properly called bronze-based interlocking thresholds, will feature the same hook strip, except it will be made of bronze. Okay. Now, the fact that it is an interlocking threshold makes it, in my opinion, a little bit smarter of a piece of weather stripping. There are certain types of interlocking thresholds, really just like this, that have a higher dimensional property, where this berm will have to get so high and come back down that what people have done is, or what the manufacturer will do for you, is drill a small little hole right inside of here. And then in the face of there will be a small notch. It's called a weep hole. Should any water get inside and get captured in that berm, it can find its way back out, is the point of the weep hole sort of principle. Now a threshold like this is not tall enough to feature that sort of weep hole modification, but nonetheless a weep hole is part and parcel with most interlocking thresholds. So speaking about this threshold dimensionally, let's go over that now. This is 3/8 of an inch wide, and that's not uncommon for a residential threshold, even though it's smaller than most. It's 5/8 high. Okay, and that's pretty common for the height. You really won't find interlocking any smaller than this or shorter. So if you've got an undercut under your door, of about 3/4 inch, it's going to be perfect for this. You really can't cheat it too much smaller than that without, probably having some potential for trouble, because the head of the nails are going to stick out a little bit. And nails are exactly how the hook strips are attached to the bottom of the door. And they are included. You can see both the nails there for the hook strip, and then the screws are going to be like a number 10 by 1.5 inches or so, and a complementary finish type of screw. Okay. Available in all the common lengths and even uncommon lengths, from like 2 foot to 8 foot. That can be ordered easily. If you have need for a custom length, by all means, let us know by ordering the next longest piece or pieces, and simply indicate in the comment field what length you'd like for us to cut the material back to. Now the reasoning is this. It would be uncommon for you to have a 42-inch door in a residential application, but if you had to take this 48-inch piece and cut it back to 42-inch, you'd get real close to eliminating that countersink. So you're stuck not only cutting it to length, but drilling a new countersink. And sometimes drilling a hole is not a problem, but sometimes creating a countersink for the flathead screw that's included is more of a challenge. And of course, the design of this threshold demands a countersunk hole. The point is this: if you need a custom length, by all means, just order the next longest piece. Indicate in the comment field what net length you'd like us to send it out at, and that's how we'll send it. This will allow you to allow you to avoid cutting it to length, but more, at least as equally, drilling a hole and creating a new countersink. Okay. The combination of an interlocking threshold and a J-hook is used to seal the gap between the floor surface and the bottom of the door. And you'd need, the one somewhat downside of this is you need a relatively level sill, or a door that's at least parallel with the sill. This sort of configuration does not allow any sort of variance in that at all. So you want to take inventory of your condition prior to ordering this. You might have a drastically out of plumb door or frame, towed in or out, or a sill that's not level, and all that will contribute to this sort of threshold perhaps not being the best option. There's a link below this video to a document called Installation Instructions. They're just quite generic and straightforward. You're going to want to make sure that you've got the proper undercut to not only accommodate the threshold, but also the J-hook to be nailed to the bottom of the door. You're going to want, obviously, that J-hook to fall underneath the door so that you really don't see it at all, and all of that assembly to line up so that the J-hook is properly nested over this lip here. So meaning you're going to get the orientation of the door exactly where you need it on and over this. Now I'm a fan of keeping the barrier of weather as far outside as possible. With this sort of threshold, your barrier is really practically on the inside of the space. I would like to have a door sweep mounted out here, like maybe a bristle door sweep that would incorporate a drip cap, okay, so that you can create your primary line of defense out here where the door, on the exterior side of the door, and then allow that hook strip to really be the primary seal of the opening, in terms of at least in terms of the sill. So I would opt for something to be outside here as well, something that would allow you to have a barrier where the rain is originating from or the weather is originating from. There's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up the full line Pemko product catalog and review all things weather stripping from Pemko, whether it be residential, which is primarily the 121D, or commercial, material made of aluminum, stainless steel, architectural bronze. Pemko's name is synonymous with an incredibly broad spectrum of available weather stripping. If you have more than an occasional need for weather stripping, familiarize yourself with that product catalog. If you have any questions on the Pemko 121D interlocking threshold or any other Pemko product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.